Hello, my amazing learners, and welcome back to the Wisdom English podcast. Do you remember how exciting it was as a child to listen to a thrilling story, getting lost in adventures and faraway lands? Well, today we're bringing that magic back, but with a powerful English learning twist. We're going to embark on a legendary journey to Treasure Island, filled with pirates, hidden gold, and brave heroes. This isn't just a story. It's your chance to dramatically improve your listening, expand your vocabulary, and practice speaking naturally with me. Get ready to sail into adventure and make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I'll share a special trick to make every new word from this story stick in your memory like a hidden treasure. Let's begin. Today we're going to learn and practice English with a classic tale called Treasure Island. I'm going to narrate a summarized version of this story for you slowly and clearly using simple words. This means it's short, easy to follow, and absolutely perfect for language learners at the A1-A2 level. You can just relax, listen, and imagine the adventure. A long time ago, in a quiet village nestled by the sea, there was a small hotel called the Admiral Benbow Inn. A young boy named Jim Hawkins lived there with his parents. Life at the inn was peaceful, almost boring. Only a few travelers ever stayed there, and nothing exciting truly happened. Until one day, everything changed. An old sailor came to the inn. He was tall, strong, and looked rough, like someone who had lived a hard life at sea. He had a deep scar on his face. He didn't talk much, but he always looked nervous, as if he was waiting for something bad to happen. Every morning, he walked to the top of a hill near the sea with his telescope, constantly watching for someone on the water. He drank too much rum and sang old pirate songs, which often scared the other guests. His name was Billy Bones. Billy told young Jim to keep an eye out for a sailor with one leg. He even gave Jim a silver coin every month to watch for him. Jim didn't understand why Billy was so afraid, but he knew the sailor was hiding from someone dangerous. One day, a blind man came to the inn. His name was Pew, and he was even scarier than Billy. He gave Billy something called the black spot, a terrifying pirate sign of danger and death. Billy immediately turned very pale, looking completely terrified. Just a few minutes later, he collapsed and died right there. His heart simply gave out from shock and fear. After Billy's death, Jim and his mother opened Billy's small wooden box to find the money he owed them. They found many coins from different countries, but they also found something much more important, a map. It was a real treasure map. It showed the secret place where the famous pirate, Captain Flint, had hidden his gold many years ago. Jim took the map to Dr. Livesey, a kind and clever doctor, and to Squire Trelawney, a rich landowner. The three of them made a bold plan. They would sail across the sea and search for the treasure. And so their great adventure began. Dr. Livesey and Squire Trelawney quickly hired a ship called the Hispaniola. It was a strong and beautiful ship, ready for a long sea voyage. They also found a captain to lead the trip, Captain Smollett. He was very strict, but he was also fair and honest. Jim was allowed to join the ship's crew as a cabin boy. He was so excited. He had never been on a ship before, and he felt incredibly proud to be part of such an adventure. One of the men working on the ship was Long John Silver. He was hired as the cook. He had only one leg and walked with a wooden crutch, but he moved surprisingly quickly and always had a friendly smile on his face. He was smart, very friendly, and full of exciting sea stories. He also had a green parrot on his shoulder that kept squawking, "Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8! At first, everyone liked Silver. He told jokes and helped everyone on board, but soon Jim discovered a terrible secret. One day, Jim was hiding inside a barrel on the ship. While he was hiding, he overheard Silver talking quietly to some of the other men. Jim found out that Silver and many of the crew members were actually pirates. They had a cunning plan. They would wait until the treasure was found. Then, they would take over the ship and keep all the treasure for themselves. Jim felt incredibly scared, but he stayed quiet and listened to everything. Later, he secretly told Captain Smollett and the other honest men about the pirates. Now they knew the truth. Many of the crew were dangerous, and they had to be very careful and get ready to defend themselves. After many days sailing, the ship finally arrived at Treasure Island. The island was green, wild, and very quiet. There were tall trees, rolling hills, rugged rocks, and secret caves. It looked calm, but Jim and his friends knew danger could be lurking anywhere. Some of the pirate crew went to the island right away. Jim went with them, but soon he walked off alone into the dense forest. While he was walking, he met a strange man named Ben Gunn. Ben had been a pirate before, but his own pirate friends had left him alone on the island 3 years earlier. He had lived there alone, eating berries and goats. Ben was a bit strange, but he was also kind and friendly. He told Jim a big secret. He had already found Captain Flint's treasure and had hidden it in a safe cave. Ben said he would help Jim and the others, but only if they promised to take him home after the adventure was over. While Jim was with Ben, things on the island got worse. Long John Silver and the other pirates took full control of the ship. They also demanded the treasure map. But Captain Smollett, Dr. Livesey, Squire Trelawney, and the other good men moved into an old wooden house on the island to stay safe and fight back. Soon, the intense fight between the two groups began. The pirates attacked the old wooden house with guns and swords. They desperately tried to steal the map, but the loyal men were strong, smart, and incredibly brave. They defended the house and refused to give up the treasure. Then, Jim did something incredibly brave. He found a small round boat. He used it to quietly go back to the Hispaniola. There, he fought a very dangerous pirate and he won. He took control of the ship himself and moved it to a safe place, far away from the other pirates. Later, Jim went back to the wooden house and told his friends what he had done. Together, they continued fighting against the pirates. Silver tried to act friendly again, trying to change sides to stay safe, but Jim and the others no longer trusted him. At last, the pirates used the map and went to the place where they thought the treasure was hidden. They dug and dug, but they found nothing. The treasure was gone. They had been tricked. They didn't know that Ben Gunn had already found the treasure and hidden it in a different cave. Some pirates gave up. Some ran into the forest and were never seen again. Others were too weak to keep fighting. In the end, the good men had won. They were tired, but they were safe. And now, they finally knew where the real treasure was. They found gold, silver, jewels, and ancient coins from many different parts of the world. There was more treasure than they had ever imagined. It was so much that they had to carry it in many, many trips back to the ship. They were finally ready to leave the island. A few pirates were left behind on the island. Some had died and others had escaped into the forest. Long John Silver was still with Jim and his friends. He had helped them sometimes, but he also lied and tricked them. Then one night, while everyone was sleeping, Silver cleverly disappeared. He took one small bag of treasure with him and was never seen again. The ship sailed safely back to England. Jim and his friends were safe, and now they were rich. But Jim felt different. He had gone on a truly great adventure. He had seen danger, the greed of pirates, and even death. But he had also learned about bravery, the power of friendship, and the importance of trust. He was no longer just a young boy from an inn. He had grown up. Wow, what an adventure! You've just listened to the thrilling story of Treasure Island in slow, clear English. Now let's go over some of the best vocabulary from our pirate adventure. These words will help you understand stories better and sound more natural when you speak English too. I will say the word, explain it simply, give you a real-life example, and then we'll say it together. This is our shadowing time. First, the phrase, by the sea. This means being near the ocean or right next to the coast. You could say, they built a small cottage by the sea. Now, repeat after me, they lived by the sea. Next, the word in. An inn is like a small hotel, often old, quiet, and cozy where travelers can stay. You might say, "We stayed at a little inn during our road trip." Your turn. Let's rest at an inn. Now, let's talk about rough. When someone looks rough, it means they look tough. Perhaps a bit wild, not very neat or clean. For example, the sailor looked rough with messy hair and old clothes. Repeat after me. He looked rough and scary. Our fourth word is scar. A scar is a permanent mark on your skin after a cut or injury has healed. For instance, she has a small scar on her knee from when she fell. Your turn. He has a scar on his face. Up next, we have nervous. If you feel nervous, it means you're worried or afraid that something bad might happen. I feel nervous before speaking in public. Repeat after me. Jim looked nervous. The phrase watching for someone means you are waiting and actively looking to see if a specific person is coming. He stood at the window watching for his friends. Your turn. He was watching for danger. Then we have keep an eye out. This means to watch carefully, to be alert for something specific. Remember to keep an eye out for your phone. You lose it often. Repeat after me. Keep an eye out for trouble. Our next word is pale. If someone looks pale, their skin looks very white, usually because of fear, shock, or sickness. She went pale when she heard the bad news. Your turn. He looked pale. Now comes the word collapse. To collapse means to fall down suddenly, perhaps from fear, pain, or extreme tiredness. He collapsed on the floor. Repeat after me. He collapsed on the floor. The phrase, his heart simply gave out, means his heart stopped working, often due to great shock or fear. Your turn. He was so scared his heart simply gave out. Next, we have adventure. An adventure is a fun, exciting, and sometimes dangerous journey or experience. Climbing the mountain was a big adventure. Repeat after me. That was a great adventure. The word voyage refers to a long journey by ship. The voyage took many weeks. Your turn. We went on a long voyage. Then we have strict. Someone who is strict follows rules exactly and expects others to do the same. Our teacher is very strict but fair. Repeat after me. Our teacher is very strict. The phrase take over the ship means to gain control of the ship, often by force, just like the pirates plan to do. Your turn. The pirates tried to take over the ship. The phrase right away means immediately, without waiting. Come here right away. Repeat after me. Come here right away. And the final one for our vocabulary, walked off. To walk off means to leave a place, often quietly or without saying anything. He didn't answer. He just walked off. Your turn. Jim walked off into the forest. Wow. You've just sailed through the thrilling tale of Treasure Island, expanding your vocabulary and sharpening your listening and speaking skills. Stories are such a magical way to learn English because they make new words and phrases memorable and meaningful. And now for that special trick I promised you at the beginning to make every new word stick. Choose 3 words from today's story that you found most interesting, and try to use them in 3 new sentences about your own life, out loud before the end of the day. For example, today's podcast was a real adventure. Your challenge for today is to write 1 sentence in the comments below, using one of the new vocabulary words you learned from Treasure Island. I can't wait to see your creative sentences. This is the Wisdom English Podcast. I'm Sarah, and I'm so proud of your courage in embarking on this English learning adventure. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom English Podcast channel to watch our next videos.